A very good morning to each and everyone present here. This is Suruchi, your host for this session. On behalf of MIT Center for Future Skills Excellence, MIT Art, Design and Technology University, it is my pleasure to welcome all of our esteemed guests and enthusiastic participants from all parts of the globe to the second International Virtual Summit on Women Frontiers in Exponential Technology, an initiative to listen to global stalwarts whose guidance will help us leap towards success in the dynamic digital world. At our outset, let me welcome our lovely keynote speaker, Ms. Tram Anh Nguyen, co-founder, Center for Finance, Technology and Entrepreneurship. She is the board member for French Tech Program UK and Ireland. Thank you so much for joining us today, ma'am. MIT Art, Design and Technology believes in starting every journey of knowledge by seeking blessings from Goddess Saraswati. May I request all of you to please join your hands for the Saraswati Vandana. Thank you very much. MIT Center for Future Skills Excellence, under the guidance of Art, Design and Technology University, salutes women who are revolutionizing the world of technology. MIT Center for Future Skills Excellence, who conceived with the idea to help upskill students and working professionals with future exponential technologies. The second International Virtual Summit on Women Frontiers in Exponential Technology is a platform to acknowledge women who influence in innovating or researching emerging future skills. This session is going to be very interesting and trending. We know that money, with the power of making dreams come true, leads the world. And we also know that digitalization has already embraced the world. Every sector runs on artificial intelligence, robotics, automation, cloud, and the list goes on. So what does the combination of money powered with technology mean? What is FinTech and what opportunities in career growth does it facilitate? Let us explore. It is our pleasure to welcome Ms. Tram Anh Nguyen, co-founder, Center for Finance, Technology and Entrepreneurship, along with the board member of the French Tech Program UK and Ireland, guide us today. May I please request her AV? Ms. Tram Anh Nguyen co-founded the Center for Finance, Technology and Entrepreneurship, a global platform for education in fintech and future financial services, with the objective to equip professionals and students with the skills to thrive in the new world of finance. CFT includes online courses and specializations, leadership and training, along with hands-on entrepreneurship experience in topics such as fintech, open banking, digital payments, or artificial intelligence. She's a board member of EDHEC, the ACT, board of the Global Impact FinTech Forum, and a non-executive director of Tiller. Entrepreneurship expert at said Business School, University of Oxford, and industry fellow at Imperial College. Ms. Tram believes that in a world dominated by technology, people must remain at the center of society and organizations, and that education and training are key to helping individuals adapt and thrive within our fast-paced world, in particular, the rapidly developing AI. Ms. Tram was the ambassador of the Singapore FinTech Festival and has been recognized as the 2021 Top 100 Influential Voices and among the top 22 key opinion leaders in FinTech, and has been shortlisted for the Women in Payments Advocate for Women 2021 EMEA Awards. She's also been featured in the 100 Women in FinTech by Women in Finance and recognized as the Senior Leader Women in FinTech by Innovative Finance 2017, 2018 and 2019, along with the FinTech Leaders Europe 2019. It is our pleasure to have Ms. Tram to guide us in the second International Virtual Summit on Women Frontiers in Exponential Technology. Thank you so much for sparing your valuable time with us, ma'am. The session is all yours.
I'm Tram Anh Nguyen, and I'm the co-founder of CFT, the Center for Finance, Technology, and Entrepreneurship. It's a great pleasure for me to be attending this event, and I would like first to thank the team of MIT Center for Future Skills Excellence and MIT ATD University for inviting me. To tell you a little bit about me, I hold many hats, and being CFT co-founder, I'm also the board member of EDEC, board member of the Association of Corporate Treasurers, and also entrepreneurship expert at Said Business School at Oxford. And I'm also honored to have been awarded the title of Top 22 Key Opinion Leaders in FinTech, been awarded Top 100 Women in FinTech, and last year, Top 10 Women Transforming Tech. I'm also the co-author of a book, the FinTech Job Report, a report with the analysis of 40,000 new jobs offered by the 225 largest FinTech companies in the world, and the job that most people don't know, and the findings are really interesting. Let me share with you my views of the impact of FinTech in the financial services industry. A few years ago, Mark Andreessen famously said this quote, "Software is eating the world." To summarize what's transforming our industry today, I could use a similar analogy and simply say technology is eating finance. This is being seen through the availability of the job opportunities in FinTech that are today much closer to those found in tech companies than those in traditional finance companies. So, what is this change, and what does it mean for you, talent, and the skills requirement? Let's see how FinTech is impacting the financial services. So that will be my presentation today. So in terms of big picture, you need to know that a lot of money has been invested into FinTech in the last 10 years. More than $200 billion has been invested in the FinTech industry. This is a trend that started quite a while ago, back in 2012, but has quickly started to accelerate in 2014. And in the most recent years, 2018, 2019, 2020, we have $50 billion invested in FinTech almost every year. This has led to the rise of the FinTech unicorns across the globe. And today, we have more than 215 FinTech companies worth more than $1 billion in terms of valuation and market cap. So we say there are over 200 significant companies in FinTech that, of course, are hiring quite a lot of people. So why does it impact you? In terms of where we find these FinTech unicorns company, they are spread over a variety of sectors. We see a large number of them coming from the payments sector. But also we find a lot of them in wealth management, asset management, challenger banks, for example, insurance, and also cryptocurrencies too. So what is the overall impact on financial services? If we see who are, in your opinion, the largest financial institution 10 years ago, the answer will all be all banks. Today, 10 years later, we'll still have a lot of banks, but we also have non-banks, especially tech-driven companies such as Visa, MasterCard, On Group, PayPal, and Tencent. This means that in financial services, we're starting to see a lot of large FinTech companies, but the question is, are we ready for this new world of FinTech? So today, most students are unaware of the opportunities and jobs that are offering in the FinTech industry. And those who are aware, including candidates with strong experience in financial services, they find it very challenging to even be accepted for interviews due to this existing skills deficit. Another shortfall is that most don't know and don't have the right mindset to thrive in a FinTech, which according to several recruiters is key if you want to join this industry. So that's why we at CFT spent quite a lot of time to do a big research analyzing the 225 largest FinTech companies around the world, and we saw 40,000 new jobs openings in the FinTech industries to give an important understanding of the jobs offered by FinTech companies and the skills that are required in this fast-growing industry. So I'll tell you more about the research that we have conducted so that you understand jobs in FinTech, what are the skills required to those jobs, and finally, how do you acquire those skills? In terms of macro numbers, across the 200 largest FinTech companies, you see that 300,000 employees there are, and there are around 40,000 jobs opening as of October 2021. But it's important to understand that these numbers change on a daily basis. Why? Because hiring cycle may be seen that as a quarterly, which means that these 40,000 jobs opening will then be filled after a quarter, leading to more people being employed and then new jobs opening up after. So jobs opportunities are continuously arising. There are more and more new jobs coming up in the FinTech industries. If we see the geographical split, we see that there are in North America, who has the most job openings, which is normal as it has the most FinTech unicorns. After that, it's in Asia and Europe, and followed by South America, Africa, and Oceania. It's clear that this industry hiring a lot of people and one that is growing very, very quickly. I will tell you more, of course, about what's the situation in India, because you would be more interested in India. But overall, what I want to share with you is that FinTech is seen as a big employers and are always looking now for talent. So let's understand now what are these new jobs in FinTech. There are a lot of different jobs in FinTech, from those focused on data, engineering, software, analytics, compliance, and several more. To make sense of this job, we can put them in three main categories so that you understand better. The first one is generic role. Those found in large organization, all types of organization, you will find those generic roles, from banks, tech companies to retailers. You have roles that are more tech roles. They are not necessary roles for tech people, but rather roles found in technology companies. And last is the finance roles. Roles normally found in finance companies, whether they are banks, asset management companies, or others in finance. We have placed all the roles in 14 different job families. There are 4 job families under generic roles, 8 job families under tech roles, 2 job families under finance roles, and we found most of these roles offered by fintech companies in tech companies. And today we are going to focus on these tech roles. Those are where you found the more jobs. Let's take a closer look at those tech roles in fintech. It's important to remember that these are not necessary roles for tech people, but rather roles found in technology companies. Looking at this, we see 2 categories. The first tech roles are the top one, and the non-tech roles are the bottom one. Now, to clearly see what proportion of roles out of all are tech and others, we analyze role across sectors. So the colors on the gray side are tech roles in tech companies. The colors on the blue side are non-tech roles in tech companies. And those on the red side are finance roles. So what does it mean? It means that we see tech roles in tech companies representing 40 to 75% of roles. Non-tech roles in fintech companies, less, 20 to 40%. And so quite a large proportion again, and the smallest proportion is the finance roles, which represent 20% or less. So what we want to say, what's the conclusion of all what I've just shared with you, is that 80% of the job in fintech are those found in tech companies. They are tech or non-tech, whether they are tech or non-tech, indicating that fintech companies are much closer to tech companies than finance companies. Simply summarize that technology is eating finance. So now that we have looked at the jobs, what are the skills you need to have? So there are lots of skills required by jobs in fintech, and it really depends on the roles. If you are a machine learning engineer or a copywriter, then the skills are totally different, of course. So in terms of requirements of fintech companies, we find there is a need for, first, hard skills, then soft skills, then mindset, and finally experience. And I will go through each of them in detail. In terms of hard skills, which again depends on the role, we see a lot of different types of programming languages, but there are also finance-based hard skills like anti-money laundering regulation. These are also hard skills in terms of knowing how to do marketing automations using Adobe or using customer relationship management tools. There is also a part which is of hard skills that go beyond programming. We call that digital skills or industry knowledge. And these are seen as important across all kinds of roles in FinTech. This constitutes knowing to use certain digital skills, such as how do you use Excel to PowerPoint. It also includes industry knowledge about learning about FinTech, learning about artificial intelligence, learning about open banking, for example. I've just mentioned about the hard skills. Now let's look at the soft skills. And the soft skills, I think by talking with a lot of people in the industry, and my role is to talk with a lot of CEOs of FinTech around the world, I always ask them, what are the main skills you are after when you recruit? And the majority of them, they are saying that because of this new world being very technology driven, the main two soft skills that people are looking for is people who can communicate well and people who are very collaborative, that can be doing teamwork together, that know how to work in teams. And these are others like attention to detail or time management. Those are the very important soft skills you need to get. The third pillar I mentioned is mindset. I think what we tend to see quite often is that since startups, FinTechs are startups, and they're growing very, very quickly, there is a need to have that adaptability. And I'll talk to you more later about this adaptability skills. Ability also to work in a very fast-paced environment, comfort with ambiguity, being proactive, a quick learner, and being very customer-centric. Understand what the customer wants. And finally, after the hard skills, after the soft skills, after the mindset, what the main companies are looking for are people who have experience. What we see is that FinTech startups tend to hire experienced professionals in general to other larger organizations. FinTech startups do not hire a lot of young graduates. They tend to hire people with experience, which could be a computer science degree or relevant degrees. Or this could mean people who have experience in other tech companies or who have experience implementing networks or data protection. Experience tend to be linked very strongly to a particular job role. For you students, it means you need to build a portfolio of experience. Show to your recruiter that you have built up or set up lots of different projects so that you can show to your recruiter, to your companies, that you are ready to work on large-scale projects because you know how to work on smaller projects. That is very important to demonstrate your portfolio of experience. So how does it impact you? So what I would love to show you is, as I mentioned earlier on in the presentation, is that the FinTech landscape is booming globally. But more importantly for you, in India, the FinTech landscape in India is really booming. India is seeing massive growth in the FinTech space in the past couple of years. And the country is 2021 alone added 11 new FinTech unicorns, coming third only after the US and UK. Is remarkable, which means the Indian ecosystem is well placed globally to provide opportunities in FinTech. The region has also seen a lot of investors interested, with over $9 billion was raised by Indian FinTechs in only 2021, leading to even more FinTech unicorns will be coming soon. With that in mind, I hope I have given you more views on what is the fintech market today and what are the growing trends we are seeing and what are the jobs and the skills and the competencies you would see are important for you to get in the next couple of years. And I would really love you to join the industry. For those of you who want to know more about the industry, CFT and I are very, very happy to give you the link to this report, which is the FinTech Job Report, available to you, students, and we're very, very happy to provide that to all our audience today. I've been asked to now share my own personal journey from having worked for largest banks in the US, in the UK, and also in Asia, to becoming an entrepreneur. And I would love to spend time with you. Thanks again for listening to me, and I will now start my presentation about why did I choose to start and build CFT, the Center for Finance, Technology, and Entrepreneurship. Very hard about how I could share with you about my own personal journey. So I named my presentation Inspiring Change. I thought very hard about what I wanted to say to you at a time when our world, your world, has totally changed in a short period of time with the pandemic, and that we are all experiencing something which we've never seen before. And I thought if there was a message that I wanted to share with you and that you could apply today, but also anytime during your life, that message would be like a chameleon. If I ask you what's the color of a chameleon, some of you might say green or brown or red. And a chameleon is all of that. It can take any colors because it can change whenever it needs. Like a chameleon, don't be afraid of change. This is normal that we prefer what is stable. This is normal that new things can be frightening. I was also very afraid when I decided to drop my medical studies when I was 18 years old. Like many Asian families, my parents wanted me to become a doctor, and I understand that. I also want my children to become doctors. I started medical school in France, but I really hated it. It was really not for me. The easiest choice would have been to continue and perhaps to become a very good doctor. Who knows? But I felt deep down that it wasn't for me. So I found a way to go to Oxford to learn English, went back to a prep school in France and got accepted to a business school in Paris. I finished my studies in London and started as an intern on the trading floor of Standard Chartered. I worked very hard, really, really hard. And I got a job as a trader for Standard Chartered in New York, one of the few women at that time. I went from quitting my studies for medical schools in Paris to being on the trading floor in New York. So who would have imagined that? Remember that change can be frightening. It can be stressful, but it can also lead to great things. So be like a chameleon. Don't be afraid of change and adapt quickly. Secondly, sometimes unexpected things happen. On the 11th September 2001, my life changed forever. By then, I had been working in New York for 2 years. I was working at the World Trade Center, Tower 7, and we lived just in front of the Twin Towers. We could see them directly from our apartment. It started like a normal day. It was a nice and sunny day, and I walked to the office to be there at 7. 2 hours later, the first plane hit. With my colleagues, we had no idea what it was. We thought it was an earthquake. We slowly walked down the stairs. Then the second plane hit, and then it was panic. Everything started crumbling down. I ran. We all ran away from the towers. There were dust everywhere. We couldn't breathe. We were trying to go north as quickly as possible. As things settled down, I didn't know what to do. The mobile phones networks didn't work anymore. My husband was in Paris, and I couldn't go back to my apartment. I was homeless, I was lost, and I didn't know what to do. But it wasn't just me. It was the same for all my colleagues and millions of New Yorkers. And on the following days, on the following month, we rebuilt ourselves, and we were glad to be alive. And at Standard Chartered, we moved to a temporary office in the New Jersey, where we built a new trading room. We worked extremely hard, and we created something new as a team. Our office was something where we felt comfortable and safe to be in. We worked differently, and the spirit of the team was phenomenal. 1 year later, our team was awarded the best team on Wall Street. This is something I was very proud of, because I was part of a team that overcame incredible challenges. So unexpected things do happen, and this is now something that we all realize. For you, maybe you went through the disruptive part last year with your education, with your studies, but try to get the most out of it and support your friends, support your classmates. This is how you will thrive together. And finally, always try new things. I was supposed to be a doctor, then I became a trader. Then I moved to London, where I worked in a totally different job at Dresdner, Kleinwort Benson. Then I moved to UBS, doing again something totally different, and it's called private banking. And then after 16 years in finance, I made a totally different choice again. I wanted to become an entrepreneur. And that's how I co-founded CFT, a new type of university that uses online learning to teach professionals about technology in finance. CFT was built on the idea of change again. It's based on the idea that technology is transforming all industries, including mine, which is finance. But although many people are afraid of these new changes, for example, being replaced by a robot or by artificial intelligence, making wrong decisions, I believe these new changes can be very beneficial if we understand them well. And we are helping people change by learning new skills, by being part of this technological transformation and not be left behind. In the same way as I went from medicine to banking and now education, always try new things. When I was young, it was so hard for us to have access to good knowledge. You had to go to the library, find information, but it was hard to learn from others who had more experience. Today, the internet gives you unlimited knowledge. So my view, use it to learn as much as you can. Try new things as much as you can. Whether it's coding, doing a website, cooking, knitting, try. Whether you all fail or succeed, don't worry. All that experience is what will make you as a person. Let's go back to our chameleon. As a chameleon, don't be afraid of change, but embrace it. Unexpected things will happen in your life, like what happened to all of us last year, 2 years ago. This can be hard, but adapt and support others. And finally, try new things. Try. You are in this period of your lives, whether the more you try, the more you will learn. And don't worry if you fail the first time, the second, or even the third time. This is what will make you much stronger. I wish you all the best with your studies and also your personal life. Make the most of a changing world, because there are great things for you to do if you adapt like a chameleon. Thanks for asking the questions. And I think the qualities that will require for future humanity is that robots and machine cannot offer. I would say I would like to encourage women to develop soft skills, empathy, creativity, collaborations. Those are the qualities that any female professionals are pretty strong at. So as I said early on in my presentation, try to develop those skills, and you can go to any industries. People are really looking for those skills. What are the 3 significant pillars for a great entrepreneurs today? I think this is the questions of, I would say, to answer to this question, first, identify your unique strengths and skills and be resilient. Know who you are and develop where you are good at and be resilient. The second, I would say, always be willing to learn as you grow, and you will grow your startup. You becoming a lifelong learner. Students for life. Things are evolving so fast and so quickly. Even myself, I learn every day. And thirdly, I would say, as a significant pillar for a great entrepreneur, it would be authentic, believe in you, and have your strong voice. The third thing, if I can leave a message to everyone, women, the world is a world that is full of opportunities. There are many online education tools to help anyone to learn about all the things that were not accessible before is today. I would encourage everyone to start building your knowledge, learn and try new things, be 20, 30 or even more. I think don't be afraid to learn and don't be afraid to change, and embrace it. A change is essential. You know, change is essential. Be a student to a professional today. I think it's important that we know how to change, to adapt. And I think that education and learning are the best way to adapt to this new world in disruption. And we encourage not only people that are focused in finance, but if today you are in any industry, and I know you will come from totally different background, try to learn digital, try to get into developing those digital tools, and learn about digital finance, because whatever you do, I believe that it's essential that anyone today must understand some very good foundation about financial literacy. So women are also keen to be a part of a global community. I would say that the opportunities are incredible, and I would encourage you, everyone, to start joining communities online so that you can build your network. And I invite you, of course, to join CFT community because it's the strongest one and it's very global, and you'll get to learn on a daily basis, attend our events, and in the next couple of weeks and days, there are lots of events to encourage and to bring more awareness of what are the opportunities the fintech industry can offer to women. So I welcome you to join us. Thanks a lot for having me. if there was a last message that I would love to tell, to share with everyone, is that it's, of course, pretty hard and difficult to predict what the jobs of the future will be. You can dream about your job and have a goal and aspiration. It might not be your first job, but you'll achieve something if you work hard and build up on your different experiences. What I've learned, and I'm now telling you, is that you are all living in a world full of opportunities. It's a world that is changing as we speak, and there's a place for every one of you if you open your minds. Understand that the world is changing, and we need to learn how to adapt to this. Don't be scared. Don't listen to naysayers. Nothing is impossible. Love change, embrace change.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Your journey is really an inspiration. On behalf of MIT Center for Future Skills Excellence, MIT Art Design and Technology University, I'm really glad to witness this launch of such an absolutely informative book, the report on FinTech. The Center for Finance, Technology and Entrepreneurship's CFTE FinTech Job Report, co-authored by Nguyen Triu and Tram Anh Nguyen, has now launched as a book on Amazon with an aim to reach thousands of people. The book, which analyzes the 225 largest fintech companies and 40,000 jobs, aims to create awareness about the new jobs and skills needed in fintech within the wider ecosystem. The book has 36 experts and thought leaders who have supported the book's launch. To help create a positive impact on society, all proceeds from the book aims to go to the EPIC Foundation, an organization supporting youth charities globally. The report analyzed the 225 largest fintech companies, representing 2.71 of market capitalization, and identified 40,000 jobs offered by these companies. The report also reveals the fintech industry employs more than 300,000 people, which is a significantly large number considering that the largest financial centers such as New York or London employ 450,000 and 400,000 people respectively. The report's findings help us see that jobs in fintech are much closer to jobs in tech companies rather than financial services, leading to the conclusion that the technology is eating finance, both in the innovation and recruitment trends. To gather views on the report from the industry at large, 36 experts and thought leaders have shared their views on the book and have supported its launch to help create a big positive impact in the industry. While launching the report as a book aims to get the research in front of people across the globe, it also has another noble mission behind it. With an aim to create a positive impact on society, CFTE aims to give all the proceeds from the book to EPIC Foundation, an organization supporting youth charities globally to help uplift the lives of disadvantaged youth. Really an absolutely noble cause, ma'am. I would suggest all the career aspirants in fintech to get their copy and contribute to this noble cause as well as help themselves upskill. It is now available on Amazon, and we will be sharing the link of getting it on our social media pages. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you once again for joining us today. Over to you, Suruchi.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and a huge congratulations to our guest. And it was absolutely amazing to hear from you and your experience, your knowledge with building on the idea of change, along with the job and the tech roles in fintech, be it the qualities or the skills required for it, is something that we'll be taking back home and cherishing and practicing the knowledge to the best of our capacities and capabilities. Events like these are possibly only because of the constant support and encouragement from the Honorable Professor Dr. Mangesh Karad Sir, Executive President and Vice Chancellor, MIT ADT University. His blessings make such sessions eventful. A big thank you to our mentors, Dr. Anand Chakradev Sir, Pro Vice Chancellor, and Dr. Mahesh Chopre Sir, Registrar, MIT ADT University, for their constant cooperation and motivation in such events. I extend my sincere appreciation to all the deans, directors, HOIs, and HODs at the MIT ADT University. Your support encourages us to progress and flourish. I'm indebted to our ecosystem partners who supported and guided us throughout the International Virtual Summit. A huge thank you to our knowledge partners, University at Buffalo, Blockchain Think Lab, California Science and Technology University, CFTE, Center for Finance, Technology and Entrepreneurship, Natalie EV Consulting. Thank you so much to our technology partners, Asset Rush, Galadio, Big ID, PayMonk, InnoWise, Stezi, Settlement, Sekoro, Robotex India, and Radcad. A big thank you to our education partners who cooperate and motivate us in all our courses and events, Microsoft, Salesforce, Atos, SAP, EduPeer, AI Beehive, CloudThat, Skills Factory. And thank you so much to our community partners, OWASP, our foundation, WICSP Women in Cybersecurity and Privacy, InfoSec Girls, India Blockchain Forum, Global Blockchain Business Council, WIBT, Women in Blockchain Talks, MKAI, the Inclusive AI Community. Our inspiration is our innovation partners, AIC MIT ADT Incubator Forum, and Innovations LLP. Thank you so much for our certification partners, True Scholar, and thank you, an even bigger thank you to the digital marketing partner, Brandnity, Integrated Strategic Advertising and Media Agency. Finally, I would like to thank the audience from the bottom of my heart who took out their precious time and joined us today. Let us meet again at 4 p.m. using the same link for the session Robotics for Her by Ms. Payal, the director for the Robotics India and founder Hack the Crisis. We hope to see you soon. We would love to hear from you in the form of a feedback. The link for it has been given out. Thank you so much.